I guess in the past few days, people have come to me and said, what's good for this, what's good for that, what's good for this. In my mind, it doesn't work that way. Which means food is not heal, only the body heals. You gotta give the body proper healing conditions, and it will do whatever it can to heal itself. If it cannot be healed by the body, it cannot be healed. That's the bottom, in my opinion. I've seen over and over. Another thing that come to my mind is a girl with brain cancer. She went through operations. The operation said, she's supposed to go for a third operation. Doctor said, we can't do it. They sent her home, basically died. She came here. We put her on a raw food diet. There was a little gourmet, nothing seeds. And her healing got better, but not to the extent where she was satisfied. She then went to the next level. Right now, everyone's kind of a little gourmet. I mean, most of you serve as gourmet here, I'm not going to lie to you. It's better than any place else out there, but if you want the healing to accelerate, you really have to focus more on fruits and vegetables. That's the key. Nothing seed, anything that like has to be for lunch. This is my opinion now. And then dinner, it's fruit and vegetables. Ideally, stop eating at 6. Which means when you're stopping at 6 or 7, the body with no energy on digestion will begin the healing process. And every single second that you're alive, the body does whatever it can to heal itself. Which means you were my breast cancer victim, right? We only had, well, the only success rate I can really think of is, well, at least 3 or 4. Well, she was on depressants, going like 20th day. They were fibromyalgia going like 2 weeks. But she was giving the body proper healing in the 2 weeks. No meat, no chicken, no fish, no dairy, no eggs. Therefore, the body had more time to do its job. Meat takes roughly 100 hours to process. Nothing takes 30 minutes. So, I'm not 100% old law, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a cheat. My cheat is hummus. I eat hummus like 2 or 3 times a week. The reason why I do it, I don't want to be 100% low. It's my opinion. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I got lots of kids, grandkids. You got to eat. I make my best choice. And that's it. Like today, there was a party in my house, and my choice was nothing. And to me, it's all about love. Love has to be there. A lot of times I can compensate for a lot of stuff. A lot of people go 100% wrong. If they're in a bad situation, bad marriage, bad job, love is not going to help. You got to put yourself in the most loving, caring situations possible in your job and relationships. People like sometimes you just need a hug. You just need a hug. That's the way you're eating right. You're not getting a hug. It's not going to matter, right? Is that right? You need at least 5, 6, 7 alcohol. I'm not going to talk about my wife. That's one of the reasons why I left her. She just wasn't into it. And you got to be in the most loving, caring situation all the time. I should have put that. Sorry.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Chad. Thank you. Thank you.
So anyway, about 3 days ago, I didn't have to speak. I actually had 2 speakers. And I asked both of them to come in here and share their story. One showed up, so this is probably on our right, maybe not. Anyway, Betty is our feature.
Did you ask Silva?
I did.
Oh, well, she probably took the train there.
Probably, yeah.
She'll probably
Betty took one of my first classes back 13 months ago.
in December of 2012.
December 2012.
Right.
And actually, I like to do a video of Betty's kitchen.
Yeah.
Betty has the best kitchen ever.
Wow.
Well, I'll talk to you about it.
I'm going to talk about it.
I'll tell you
I'm going to talk about it. Yeah, Betty, your own show.
It's part of what
She's our guest speaker for the month.
Okay.
Yeah, for the week. Yeah, yay, Betty. Look how glamorous she looks. I mean, she's the most stylish woman, like, beyond.
All right. I was walking into Whole Foods during this program, during this year, and a young girl said to me, "You look like $1 million." And I said, "Thank you." And that meant a lot to me. And as far as I'm concerned, at age, I will be 82 in May. That's pretty old.
Pretty young.
Pretty old. However, this is the best I have ever felt in my whole life.
Wow.
There's only one other time I felt magnificent, and that is when I gave birth to my son, and the doctor held that baby up, and I looked at that baby, and that was the best moment in my life.
Wow. That's
However,
pretty ideal.
what's happening now is that I am having all these wonderful moments in my life now. And why? It's because eating vegetables and fruit make you feel happy. Okay? Now speaking of happy, I just came out of ShopRite, and there's this young kid, he's probably 18. Jeepers, creepers, where'd you get those peepers? And I said to him, what are you doing singing such an old song? That song is probably back in the 30s. And he said, I love old songs, like Frank Sinatra
Right.
and Coltrane. And I thought, wait a minute, those he considers very old, you know? And I was thinking, see, age is so relative, isn't it? But, and it's not how I look at myself and say, oh, baby, I'm ready to die or something. No, I'm not. And I'll go into that. But first of all, what I want to tell you is this. About 3 or 4 months ago, Silva, who's going to be coming here to speak, she and I and Susan went to a lecture in New Jersey. And it was with a spiritual person. And the title of this lecture was, We Are All Slaves. And that caught my attention. But anyway, I want to tell you that what he had to say gave me so much to think about that I don't think I've been the same since, because I think about this. From the time we're born, our parents, it's their duty to feed us, to talk to us, to train us, to give us our moral background. In other words, to indoctrinate us, right? And they indoctrinate us according to the way they were indoctrinated. Our religion depends upon where our parents were born, right? This is what determines it. And then he said something very interesting. At the age of around 13, our intellect comes in, and that's when we start thinking for ourselves. Because prior to that time, if we wanted to say, or not say, I'm not going to eat that, or whatever, we're punished for that, aren't we? But then we get to reach that stage where we become rebellious. No, I'm not going to listen to what my parents say, I'm going to do what I darn please, okay? So I was relating that to how I grew up, you know, and punishing myself in my mind for something that is just a normal part of growing up, is to be able to think for yourself, right? Now, what I'm driving at is this. So we've been slaves all our lives. We've been indoctrinated by our parents, relatives, friends. They're still doing it to us. However, the media has gotten very clever. And if we watch television, there's so much propaganda on TV as to what medicine we should take, what we should eat, our dairy products, the chicken and everything we should eat. And as a nation, as people, we are not getting better. We have become obese, listening to all of this propaganda. And I call it propaganda. And it's very, very difficult to get out of it because there's a social connection attached to all these thoughts. Okay? And unless we're very sick or something happens to us, that we say, I've got to make a big change in my life if I want to live the rest of my life. We're not going to pay attention. We're going to continue with what the mass is telling us. This is how I'm feeling now. It's not, oh, I'm going to eat vegetables and fruit. No. There's a lot more involved with it. It's how I think. And Arnold says this is a process. It's a journey that we're taking. These first 30 days that you paid $99 for is probably the best deal you'll ever get in your life. Because not only are you getting a good deal on food, but getting the feedback you need from other people who come here who have either similar health situations or even more intense than you have. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing. And okay, so what happened to me, all right? I came in, I sat down at that table, there's this brochure on the table, do I want to be in the program, right? But at that time, he was getting 90 days, 30 days free. Not $99, but it was free. And I said, yes, this is what I want. And I said, this is what I want because 3 months prior, I had awakened in the morning. I'm looking up at the ceiling, and I am not going to eat meat, fish, dairy product, because I had seen a video, and I saw what these animals go through, and what they put in, what they feed the animals, what they put the animals through, how they kill them.